Brian, thanks so much for being here. It's great to have you.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So we've discussed this quite a bit on the show. The World Health Organization is posing a massive threat to America, and they're ultimately seeking global governance, especially through this pandemic treaty that Biden's negotiating. But break it down for us. Give us a better understanding of this One Health model and how the CCP factors into everything happening here.
You got it. So the One Health model for the pandemic treaty, essentially, in the most basic of terms, means that if this treaty passes, which will take place next year in Geneva, if it does pass, then that means the director of the WHO can declare not only a pandemic emergency, but a global health emergency, whatever that means, which is also determined by the WHO. Pretty much anytime they decide it's warranted, they being the WHO. Now, One Health is the underlying governance, if you will. It's the underlying standard operating procedures. So think of it this way: if a pandemic treaty or global health emergency is declared by the WHO, all the member states have to abide by it, and the rules, how the governments operate, how land use operates, how public health operates, will be governed by the One Health framework or the One Health approach. And I can go into a little more detail on One Health. One Health itself means that it's a holistic approach that looks at animals, humans, and ecosystems or the environment or Earth all as equal, and they should be treated equally with equitable outcomes because our health is connected to their health, which is not a bad idea, in its original form. One Health has been around for about 100 years.
Wow.
And that's, keep your livestock healthy. You're going to eat it. You're going to stay healthy. But this is different, and it gets into all sorts of tributaries, all sorts of mission creep that is really indicative of more of a kind of a one world government should this thing get enacted.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way because we know how quick these government agencies and global leaders are to impose these insane, mandates and restrictions upon what we can and can't do. We saw that during COVID, which I think was sort of a sneak preview of what's to come. As you said, they can just declare a pandemic at any given time. So it could be anything as little as, the trees are dying, so we all have to stay in, right? And adjust our lives in the way that we go about our day-to-day activity to save the trees. And it seems like it's going in that direction with the whole climate narrative they're pushing. Do you foresee that becoming sort of the future here?
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll be more than one thing. Mm-hmm. And so that way, if one thing, I think what these people learned with the COVID-19 pandemic, for lack of a better term, is that if you disprove it, then people stop listening. But if you have multiple occurrences, climate crisis, food shortages, food contamination, water contamination, hit us all at once, and people will be scrambling. It's like mass psychological artillery.
I see. So yeah, that makes sense because people kind of woke up during the scamdemic and now they're probably kind of hip to what's going on. But if they, bombard us with multiple things all at once, then they'll be more likely to pass their nefarious plans through. Rochelle Walensky, the director at the CDC, recently stepped down, and now Biden's looking at a new replacement for her. Her name's Mandy Cohen. Do you think this potentially factors into some sort of upcoming plan of theirs? Do you think there's anything we should be concerned about in this area?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I'm sure Walensky will be missed.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.